Games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a bit of table clearing because in truth I'm running late. Hey, that's okay, but hopefully you will wait as I sing to introduce what I'm going to do. And where's my. I'm drinking beetroot juice. Beetroot juice to make me even redder. Beetroot juice, it's reddens me, reddens my poo, and even my pee. Playing Dice Hospital, it's what I'm talking about. Playing Dice Hospital, I'm not gonna shout. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. Time for another Busy Beats and Board Game Bladder, and I'm still clearing away. And I think that I'm going to need to raise this camera because we're just not going to have enough space otherwise. I am going to be playing a solo game of Dice Hospital. Now, I joined Alley Cat Games. I want to start off like I often do about my bias towards this. Let's get this up a tiny bit. And let's maybe turn that around a tiny bit. There we go. Let's turn it around a tiny bit more. Yeah. And maybe that way. Okay. So Dice Hospital, I am biased. I used to work for Alley Cat Games. I'm a friend of Mike Nudd's. I know Sabrina Miramon working alongside them, meeting them. They're a lovely person, and we were on a boat in Cambridge together. It was just lovely. Stan, haven't had much interaction with Stan, but yeah, I am fundamentally biased. I joined a company just before this was released. I think I might have helped tweak decide the dice colors, and in retrospect, maybe green, red, yellow was not the perfect color, but I also think that I helped play a game when I played it once when we were thinking about some expansion, something that Mike was making. It's a really nice game. I mean, I just want to spend a bit more time with it, get to know it. I've never actually played the solo mode. I don't know how that will go. I'm curious to see if I'll win, but yeah, I'm going to learn together and we'll see how we get on. First of all, as usual, let's talk about some recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. So, yesterday I did a lot of drawing, and I just want to say, yeah, it was nice. I feel a sense of accomplishment. When I ask, what is good? I'm going to say the good thing for me is to actually finish things and be like, yeah, that's that done. This is a game about selecting 7 cards, speedily searching for synergies. You've got these icons, eggs, musical notes. What's that little circle? Oh, that's from Twitter. That's the check the next thing icon. Flasks, pencils, wine, cake, monocles, party hats, eyes, hands, and legs. So not only are you looking for other things that are a nature card or a clothing card, but all the creatures are going to get these eyes and legs and arms digitally added on. But of course, they look a little bit different. And so you've got Hungry Horace, and you've got the haberdasher who's got hats, but no actual party hat. The fashionista is one that I love. The sketch artist, and honestly, the others are pretty interchangeable. Then we've got the icons. You need to think about what could be going there. Like for the musical notes, you want, for the sheet music, you want a creature and also you want an instrument. And like the instruments, you've got the tiny trumpet, the 7-string guitar, and the 7-note piano. In this world, it's all about the 7-note piano. Why would you have more than 7? You've got the winding river, which you want wine glasses, and all these things. And yeah, the raining cats and the sunshine shark and chew tree and other trees are going to have other stuff added to them. And then you've got the events. And each type of card has a sort of color scheme. And this is just for my friend's birthday that I did. But yeah, the events are purple. Nature is kind of generally green. The items are kind of brown generally. And the creatures are kind of blue. So hopefully people can tell at a glance, oh, that's what I'm after, yeah. And yeah, I'm really excited. It's one of these games where the graphics, because it is a speed game and because you're speed reading, you're trying to grab things quickly, the way it looks makes a massive difference, and I'm excited to get it played. That was my recent highlight, getting it done, and also going to a lovely friend's birthday. I wish I'd gone earlier, but I was there at 7. It was all good, and then spent a few hours seeing the skyline, going up to the top of Hampstead Heath. It was a lovely day. So that's my recent highlight. What have been some of your recent highlights? Otherwise, let's talk about brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? Brilliant thing. Yeah, so hospitals. Hospitals are pretty brilliant, right? I don't think I've ever actually given a shout out to hospitals. I just think that, hospitals being able to say, yeah, they help you. Without the modern, technology of hospitals and everyone actually knowing how to improve your health, we wouldn't be living as long. We wouldn't be living in relatively good health. We would be in a lot more constant pain. So yeah, hospitals are good. And how can you not like hospitals? Come on. You've got to give it up for hospitals, surely. At which point, yeah, dice hospitals. That's a really good theme for a game. That's the first thing I want to say. And it is a weird one because it's not a world where there's dice and then the dice are humans and then the dice are treating the dice. It's a game where the doctors are people. And so the humans are treating the dice. Why are the dice needing to be treated? That's a bit weird, right? But it's just a funny theme, and I think it's cute. So yeah, well done on to Stan. So just a bit of background. I played this game back before Mike started working on it, back when it was I think Cesar brought it over to a Friday daytime playtest back when we were at Royal Festival Hall ages ago, like won the 2019 award. So I guess this must have been 2017, maybe 28. I don't know. We played it and was like, there's something really nice about this. The idea of rolling the dice and then you're using your things to increase them, and the dice are going lower, and then the number on the dice, if it represents the health, and if it goes down below 1, then it's dead, which is kind of sad. And that's a really nice theme. It wasn't quite gelling together. And so Mike Nudd did a lot of, I would say, additional design and heavy development. And it's a much better game than when it was first presented. And it's gone on to be generally well appreciated. It's a fairly low interaction game. It's not so much about blocking your opponent, although you can do a little bit of that in the drafting. It's mainly about working out your own puzzle of, hey, how do you get these things? How do you get these dice to interact? Now, Once again, I've not played this for ages. I am going to be reading through the rules. We'll see how the rule book helps me. I've never played the solo mode before, so let's check it out. Okay, we've got Little Sheet for other games. We've got Chocolate Factory. That's a good game. I played that a few times. I did some development on it. Yeah, I changed some numbers on the cards. That's another fairly low interaction game, quite a meaty puzzle. Dice Hospital Community Care with all the expansions, Digital App and Toonguru, which is completely different. Yeah, we are going to have to probably punch out a lot of these. There is some, these tokens, can't remember what those are. The Tombstone tokens, which hopefully we won't need because none of our dice will be dying. And these are the Blood Bank tokens, which, if I remember correctly, give us additional stuff. Ah, yeah, this is the... is that the round marker that you're meant to put... Ah, yes. So that goes like that, so that you can swivel it over. Shum, 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 shum. It's interesting because you could equally have a track and then one cube, but there's something, yeah, I don't know which one I prefer better, but I know that this one's more novel and it's kind of cute. Did I just drop something? Oh yeah, it's the bits I punched, it will be fine. Oh yeah, this is the starting player board. You've got a whole bunch of these. We'll probably only need one, I guess. And then you've got another starting player board. I guess I should be punching out these things. Some red tokens. So all the rooms give ability. So this one allows one person to increase a die by 3 spaces. So you can see... actually, let me change the cameras around. So all the iconography on this game is really clear to me, at least. Like, one doctor, increase the die by 3. That's amazing. Like, you get 2 bonuses. One doctor, if you've got 3 dice that are equal, increase them all by 1. So again, you're getting 3 additional. So this one feels marginally better because it's easier to use. 3 equal means that you've got to set it up, and then you might not want all of them to be going up at the same rate. I don't know, it doesn't feel as powerful. Here's another one where you've got to set it up, so it's if there are a run, so -1, 0, +1. You've got the runs for the yellow. Just going to check them all out. We've got all the little doctors, all the doctors in a bag. We've got the dice. These are the patients that we've got to deal with. Oh, and these are meant to look like those little beepers that doctors have on them. Each red patient discharged scores an extra point. Each yellow patient scores an extra point. Green patients score extra. Each player must put aside 1 nurse, which can't be used. Oh, interesting. So you've got 6 that are good and then some that are bad. I could see myself in solo getting a little bit annoyed because when you've got the option between good and another kind of good, okay, but when you've got the option between good and bad, but I've not even read rules for solo. We'll see how it goes. And I know that my desire for luck is a lot lower than most people's. Set aside the specialist. Put aside the department. You may take a blood bank. Oh, blood banks may not be used this turn. Each player loses 1 point now for each morgue that they currently have. Immediately heal a patient of value 1 or 2 up to 2 steps. Oh, nice bonus. Return a patient of value 1 to the bag. Interesting. So you're kind of giving up on the patient. So return a patient of value 1 to the bag. So if you felt like you were going to be able to heal them, you wouldn't do this. So this is kind of like a get out of jail card, almost. Each lowest scoring player may take a die of the lowest value under ward and heal it by 3 steps. Then we've got some cards for the where you put the dice. We've got these things, which I can't remember what this is, but those stars seem to... Okay, so I guess if you discharge 2 red, you get, or 2 of one color, you get 2 points. Okay, 2 of specific colors, you get 2 points. 3 of a specific color, you get 4 points. That makes sense. Yeah, 3 is exponentially harder than 2. That makes sense. And you've got a little reference card. In fact, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because, hey, 4 players. And reminding you that if you discharge more at once, you get bonus points. And here's all the iconography. That's very clear. And you've got a nice little bag. Boom. Whew. That is a nice bag. Genuinely. And a plastic thing, because who doesn't want more bags to hold other bits? That's not me being sarcastic, by the way. Genuinely. Of course I want more bags to hold all my bits. If I've got a game, I want to be able to store it. And since I've looked at all the others, let's look at these wards as well. So you've got one where it's, oh, this is exciting. So one person can increase 1 to 3. That seems like it's going to be quite simple to set up. Yep, that's a really nice ward. Oh, if it's 1 to 2, you can... And I mean, that feels really powerful, but is it? And again, the 1, 2, 3, I mean, that feels very powerful, but is it? Because then as soon as, yeah, you kind of need to take worse dice in order to use it, and then you're kind of losing tempo on taking those worse dice. So that is actually an interesting strategic thing to ponder. Whereas I think that this might be the most powerful one. 1 to 3, if you've got 2 dice, that's a 1 to 3, they both go up by 2, which means that you are able to go up 4 steps. You're able to heal 4, which nothing else can do. And also you only need 2 of the things to match that. But I would say that if just looking through the things and which ones am I excited to take as a player, it's going to be this one, which is 1 color, and it goes up 3. That's really easy to achieve. If it's on 4, I can just chuck it out and get it out of the hospital and cure it back to health. Or these ones, which is like, yeah, just let something go down to 1, 2, or 3. It's fine. I'll heal it up next time. And then we've got the runs for the greens, the triple for 1 for the greens. That feels easy. And then the 3 equals for the greens and the runs for the greens. And I'll leave the blood bank and stuff over there. Let's squish this, and I guess that's going to go there, and I'm going to read this, and we will hopefully learn together. So how is everyone? Have you played Dice Hospital before? I've obviously played it before, but I've never played the solo mode. I am excited for this. I'm actually quite curious now. Who did this solo mode? Was it Dave Digby? Let's have a quick look. Credits. Designers Stanislav Kordonskiy and Mike Nudd. Original concept Stanislav Kordonskiy. Illustration Sabrina Miramon. Publisher Alicat Games. Developers Cesar Al-Jassar and Mike Nudd. Graphic design Sebastian Coziner. Rulebook editor Paul Grogan. Lots of thanks, and okay, I'm not sure who did the solo mode, but I guess it was probably Mike. I don't know. I genuinely don't know who did the solo mode. And so, okay, solo game rules found on page 10. Let's skip ahead to that and need to use the medical reports cards. Which ones are those? Ah, the brown things. Cool. Do not use the ambulances. Okay. So I'm not going to be drafting dice. That makes sense. let's pop them back in the box. In you go. The box is closed. It can just go off to the side. Do not choose a hospital administrator card. Okay. I will put the administrator cards off to the side as well. And hello XXL Black Sheep, who says, I've played on Board Game Arena. I've got a copy sitting behind me that needs to be played. Have you played solo? Because I mean, there's a solo mode. I don't know how good it's going to be like. If you've not played the solo mode, then hopefully by the end of this, you'll have an idea. But I just want to say I am learning right now, so please. But yeah, hopefully it'll, yeah. Have you played quite a lot? And what's stopping you from playing the solo mode? I've got to admit, I don't do lots of solo gaming outside of these solo shows. I quite like having this excuse, and thank you for joining me to the show. Remove 10 dice of each color. Oh, okay, so, and return them to the box. I mean, I feel like I should actually open the box at this point. Yep, let's get the box here, and you know what? I'm even going to put that to recycling. I do like a good insert that thinks about the game once it's been actually punched, if you know what I mean. So I'm just going to note that is really nice, even though I don't know if I'm going to punch these things. You know, it just means that it's sitting nicely, sitting snugly. I do like that. So 10 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I guess we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11 remaining. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. And in addition to these changes, shuffle the deck with medical reports cards. And okay, so we get 2 rows of free cards. And it's all going to be about these medical reports cards, it sounds like. That makes sense. So this is how I get the points. So either doing 3 specific things in one turn for 4 points, or 2 specific things for 2 points. That makes sense. You must have the dice of required cards in your discharge area at the start of phase 5. Yep, that's very intuitive. I like it. During scoring, only the cards on the bottom row of the medical report display are available to be completed. Okay, so then the top row is just there to show you what's coming up, I guess. And each die can only be used for a single card. Yep. Makes perfect sense. Cool. And you can complete yep. If you've completed the bottom row card, slide the card above it down, and presumably then you get do you get another one, or is it just 6 for the entire game? In this example, we've got 2 yellow and 2 green dice. You may complete a medical report card, which requires 2 yellow and a green, or a card that requires 2 greens and a yellow. Oh, you can do both of these because it becomes available in the same turn. That's the point that they're making. And you score the normal points. Okay, cool. Patient intake. Just draw the dice and roll them. Reroll any 1 or 6 until they're all 2 to 5. Choose 3 out of the 4, and the others go back into the bag. Make sense? And if it's less than 9, okay, so if you are giving yourself a challenge by taking 3 dice that are less than 9, so it could be a 2, a 3, and a 3, take a blood bag token. Cool. Sounds good. Phase 2, there's a change where reveal 1 specialist and 1 department tile, choose either the cards of the tile or the tile to claim and return the other one to the bottom of its stack. Okay, so it's just do that or that one. Which one do you want? That makes perfect sense. Cool. And discharge patient score as normal, and also you get points for the medical reports cards. Any incomplete medical reports cards reduce your points by the value of the cards at the end of the game. So it's ticket to ride style. So it's heightened. What's the word I'm looking? Heightened stakes. Yeah. So not only is it +4, but it could be -4. So you really need to do them. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. You've only got 8 rounds. Keep the record of your final score and try different strategies to see if you can obtain a higher score. Yeah, here's where I would really like something that says, this is a good score, this is a bad score, this is an amazing score. And that's what I try to put into my own solo games. But I understand that sometimes you just like, yeah, you know what, this is a thing. XXL Black Sheep says, I've not been able to get into solo gaming. A big part of the hobby for me is the social aspect. Yeah, I kind of agree. The only reason I would typically do solo gaming these days is either if I'm streaming, which I quite like because it's kind of a chill thing, and then I get to do it, and then people like you get to come on, and I'm able to chat with you, I completely forgot to flash the banner, by the way. If you've got any comments or questions, that is why I do the stream, because I love your comments and questions. So feel free to ask comments and questions. And if it's a deep question that feels like it's going to take me more than a minute to answer, I'll make it a topic of a future show. But yeah, so you were talking about solo gaming. Yeah, and I do enjoy sometimes using solo gaming as a way to learn the thing. Energy Empires, okay. I mean, but sometimes it's like, oh, let's explore these cards. Let's do a bit of pondering. It's kind of more like a puzzle in that manner. And so I think that I would say that for me, Dice Hospital and other low interaction games are kind of like being in the cinema with other people or being around a screen with other people. I mean, you're watching the film, you're not necessarily going to be, like if someone was talking through the entire film, you'd probably get a bit annoyed, but you're kind of being alone together. Do you know what I mean? And hello, Robert. It is lovely to see you. We're just talking about solo gaming. Do you enjoy solo gaming? I'm about to play Dice Hospital. Yep. If you want to make it more challenging, try the falling score modifier. So I'm going to play the basic mode, and if anyone else has played it, then I'll be able to compare. Otherwise, I think I understand the changes. I'm just going to double check. So let's put this off to the side. So we've got starting hospital board. Boom. What's a score marker? Score marker 12. Yep. These are my score markers. Which color do you think I should be? The choices are red or green or blue or yellow. I think I'm going to go with red. Yeah, that seems like a solid choice. I'm happy with, yeah. I'm going to just punch out the 4 little. Robert says, I've just started getting into solo gaming. Cool. Which ones have you been playing? Which ones are your favorites? Some I've enjoyed, some I've not. I've liked the ones where I felt like I was playing against someone rather than just a puzzle to be solved. Yeah, it's interesting. I kind of like the ones where I'm the opposite. I kind of feel like, for me, if it's a solo game, I prefer if it kind of leans into that. And I've enjoyed actually sometimes Dwindle and some of the games for the L deck. But yeah. Starting thing. Let's get out all the nurses. I don't really need anything that's not red or white, I guess. So I can put a whole bunch of them back into the bag. Oops. So the white ones are... Wait, no. It's the white nurses. Yep, that's the one. I was completely wrong. So the white nurses are the default ones, and red, yellow, green, and blue refer to these abilities. So we are going to need to shuffle that quite a bit. In the nurses station, that is where to go. And your starting areas, you've got the increase the colors of the dice, increase a 5 or a 6 by 1, increase a 1 or 2, increase a 3 or 4. And all of these starting things only increase it by 1. And I think that if I'm thinking about efficiency, it's got to just be how many am I able to increase at a time. And looking at these, let's actually have a quick look. Triage nurse, you know what, let's keep it exciting and let's just look at them in a moment, and then I might have a quick analysis at the end of the game. But we don't use the ambulances. We're just going to take 3 out of 4 dice. And can't remember, do the dice all, and these all get shuffled in. And these will go into a thing. Robert says, oh, wait a minute. My laptop's not plugged in. How can I sort this? Just a second. I need to try and... This is not good. Why is this not? I do apologize. Yeah, if this is on 9%, so I am going to have to do something to make this definitely... Let's try plugging it into the wall. I don't know if it's the plug or this, but I'll leave you with Robert's comment, which is, firstly, a shout out to Tony Boydell's Lux Eterna, which is 1 player only. I asked him at Expo, are solo games that big? He said a lot bigger than you might think. Yeah, I've played that. That's really cool. It's got the time pressure, which is a really interesting twist for a 1 player game. I really enjoyed Under Falling Skies, which is 1 player. I've heard of that, not played. I love solo modes for Dice Settlers and Gutenberg. I was less keen on solo modes for Agricola as it lost the whole player interaction that comes with worker placement. Yeah, I get that. I've only played Agricola out of those. And I think I played it once and I was like, yeah, I'm kind of done with this. I do apologize. I'm just going to be plugging the computer into the wall, and hopefully we will get it to live. I know that my computer needs electricity, and now it's plugged in thanks to me. Hooray! I've successfully managed to plug it in. And if we'll see how maybe that thing of the power strip wasn't quite working. So, oh yeah, I was shuffling these. That's what I was up to. And it's interesting. I wonder how Cesar or whoever decided that it was going to be a 5 on all of these, because it is a nice graphic on the back of these, but 5 is hardly the best number on a six-sided die, especially when the number represents health. So we've got that. Scoreboard. One's just to remind me what colour I am. Don't need that. I am 0 points. Department tiles done. Specialists cards done. Meat pulls done. Blood banks done. Dice in the bag. We're putting all the dice in the bag for the solo game. Dice in the bag. Dice in the bag. That is what we'll do. And you're not a hag. Smells kind of like toasted. It's got a faint woody, sprucey smell. That's a really nice smell. I mean, it's not as nice a smell as one of Gavin Birnbaum's game, but let's be honest, nothing is. Where's the little reminder sheet? I'll do that. 1 is intake, 2 is improvement, 3 is deactivation, 4 is the neglect where you turn them down, 5 is the discharge where they go out the thing and then you score, and 6 is shift change. I can't remember what happens there. Administrator cards. Yep, let's shift change, move the nurses back, specialists go back, treated, patients go to the untreated areas. Okay, and yep. Okay, I think I am ready to crack on with the game. Let's do this. And I will put this here so that anyone who's just joining will know this is the game we are playing. Or I could also bring the camera down. What would you suggest? I think I'm going to bring the camera down so that you can see a tiny bit better. And let me swap these two momentarily so you don't get motion sickness. Yeah, I think that's probably a fine view. Yep, we'll go with that. And right, let's start round 1. 3 nurses are in here. We've got the step 1 intake. Just double checking, do I see the cards before or after I do the intake? At the beginning of phase 2, okay. So I have to do the intake first. Okay, so I've got my 4 dice, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I reroll all the ones. Wow, 5, that's brilliant. 4 and 5, wow, that's brilliant. 6, reroll the 6, reroll the 1, 4. That seems like a really good roll. Okay, so I'll put it there so you can sort of see the numbers better. And you know what? I am going to go for the... Oh, let's go for... Do I not start off with anything? It's been a while since I played this, but... And then the other one goes back into the bag. Do I not start off with some dice? Oh yes, we do start off with starting patients. Let me do that retroactively. Starts off with 3, 4, and 5. 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so starts off with them, and then I will. Oh, if I started off with that, then I'd go like that. So now, if I've got greens to all go up 1 or reds to all go up 1, then I'm laughing. That would be really powerful. So I'm looking forward to boom, boom, 3 equal greens going up. That's what I'm all about. I can't. Oh, I almost forgot. I'm meant to you know what? Let's shiggle this box out of the way, and here we're going to have our 3 little things. So the second things we will get will be the 2s as the and there we go. So okay, if I get to red, red, green to all go out on the same turn, I get 4 points. That feels very achievable. I don't have any yellows, but I'm definitely able to do this. I think that's an early priority. Okay, so my possible improvements are 3 dice of the same color or radiologists. What does radiologist mean again? I can't remember. When it heals the yellow patients, heal a different patient of any color but with same value by 1 step. Nope, radiologist is terrible. Let's chuck that away. Let's get the allergy center in here, and boom. Now, I'm going to start off. Now we're into phase 3, activation. Let's go 6, 6, and 6. And these ones are going to be all treated the next turn. I'm going to get them out. We'll get the other 2. I guess I will do the 5. And maybe with this nurse, I will go and do the 4. To put that up to 5 as well. At this point, this sad patient was neglected, goes down to 2, and now we clean up, so everything moves back up. These nurses come back, and we are on to phase 2. Simples. Yeah, sorry about the delay for the camera. I do apologize. That now we're getting more dice going on. So we're rolling 4 dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can sort and re-roll the 1 and the 6. Re-roll the 1. And okay. What should I do? Well, if I had a 4 of red, you know what? I'm going to take the better ones. Yeah. Because if I had a 4 of red, I definitely want that, because then I could do a 4, 5, 6 if I get the appropriate thing to go up. 2 yellow might be nice, depending on what specialists I get. I don't really know all the specialists. Part of me now wishes I'd looked through all of them, but I'm going to go for the simple option and go with these 3. Chuck the yellow back into the bag, and hopefully we'll get some yellow dice soon, because a lot of my cards are really needing yellow dice. So maybe going for the higher numbers is not really necessarily the best choice. Now let's improve our station. Oh, triage nurse. So the urology gets to do 3 yellows, which is probably not the best thing to do right now. Triage nurse gives me another person, and they can do are they basically doing 3 at a time? Triage nurse. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Triage nurse. Yeah, so you heal 1, and then you heal 2 others of 1, 2, or 3. That feels very powerful, because it's up to 2 others. It just says heal 2 others. It's not 100% clear what happens if you don't have 2 others, but I assume that if you've only got 1 other, then that's still okay. So let's do that. And let's start off definitely moving all of these to the discharge. So these ones have been discharged. Oh, wait a minute. Gosh darn tooting minute. Maybe I need to do the red and green at the same time. So could I actually do this? I could start off with, okay, go to do this, increase the red, put that up to a 6, and do this up to a 3. And then I guess the 5 or 6 would discharge something. I don't think, so going back to 5 and 2, I don't think there's any way for me to, there's no way for me to get 2 reds out in the same turn right now. This is very sad. I'm genuinely sad about this. But let's kind of, carry on. Let's get maybe some things of an equal value. And if I don't use that, then all these greens are lost, which would be very sad. I mean, maybe I just want the greens out. And 3 is 5, 4 is 7. I mean, I am tempted to just try and keep them to go up to 9. Although then I lose, then it's so sad. Let's, do that, and let's see, what would it be like if I were to do 5 and 3, and then this one would take the green there, and this one would increase that dice to 6, at which point all of these would go down by 1, 5, 5, 5, and potentially next turn I might be able to get rid of quite a few things. We will see what happens. Fingers crossed, because now it is round 3 and we're already in the yellows. It's telling me to get to move on, because now we are going to fill up our ward, and we really need to. 1, 2, 3, 4. We really need to get rid of some stuff. Okay, so let's see if I get 2 yellows. That allows me to get yellows in there. If I really want yellows in this game. I can't take low things and take a blood bank, so that's not an option. How do blood banks come into it again? Just going to double check. Blood bank, blood bank, blood bank. How does it work? Blood bank. Oh, okay. So it's for that you get it during the selection process, which isn't done in the solo mode, of course. Okay, so and computer's reminding me to stretch. So do I want to go? You know what? Those feel like the most obvious numbers. And if I go with that, then I've got all these 5s for the greens. I've got the 3, 4, 5, 6 for the reds, which feels good. I mean, I could potentially get that 4 to a 5 and do something else if I needed to. Yep, I'm going to go with these. I've got no use for a red 4 free over a yellow free. And now, let's see what potential improvements we get. The surgeon. Increase a red and you increase another red. Otherwise, The crash sensor increases a 1 or 2 by 4 spaces. Now, I've already got the triage nurse who's going to increase the freeze. And even though this is only increasing it by 1, you also get this extra meeple. So this extra meeple is now able to do basically 2 more actions. Whereas here are able to do 3 more actions, but only in a certain circumstance. So I'm definitely going to take the surgeon. It seems kind of more powerful in this situation right now. And let's see what we can do. I definitely want all the greens to go up to 6. Well, 3 of them anyway. I need to get 3 of my dice at least out of the center. Hopefully a couple of reds as well. Let's use my blue specialist and get this green discharged and increase this to a 4 and this to a 4. And it does occur to me that the triage nurse might not be so great next turn now that I don't have such low numbers. The surgeon is going to help me discharge this. Yeah, we need to discharge at least 1. And let's raise this up to a 6. This nurse is going to get this up to a 6. And do I want to get 2 more points for that, or do I want to hold on and possibly? I think I want to. And I've got so many things untreated. This is sad times. I don't think I'm doing particularly well. Let's go to the 3 or 4 spot. And let's increase one of these 4s, the yellow 4, to a 5, because so many yellows are needed. And that's it. That was phase 3 activation. Now for the neglect. I mean, it's a sad reflection on hospitals just being like, yeah, you can't deal with everyone. Sad times. So these 3 go away. I get 5 points. Boom. And I get 4 points. Boom. 9. And we are now on round 4. Okay. So roll the dice. Round 4, roll the dice. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reroll the 1s and the 6. 5 and 6. Reroll the 6. Roll the 6. Okay. I am going to have to take 3. I would like to discharge 3 if I can. It will be easier for me to discharge the green things. If I increase this by 2, that does mean that it's not going to necessarily see as much of other things might be neglected, but it does mean that then I could discharge all 3 greens at once, which might be powerful. I'm going to take, yeah, these ones. And we'll see what potential advantages I get. Okay, when a red goes up, improve something of an equal quantity, or, if you've got 3 identical yellows. That seems quite powerful. So this is basically giving me 2 extra actions. This is basically giving me 2 extra actions. This one is giving me 2 extra actions, but it's also offering me marginally more flexibility than this one, I think. But yeah, I'm going to go with actually if I just it's a shame that I can't activate these rooms twice. Otherwise I'd be like boom, boom, get the yellows out. But given that I need to get 3 yellows out, that might be the better thing. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to make that decision. I'm going to stick with it. And boom, it is done. And let's just go by gut. Let's go by instinct a little bit. I clearly need to improve that. Clearly, I might as well use the triage nurse, because if I get that up to a 5, then increase that to a 4, and increase that to a 4 as well. Just making sure that they stay alive for now. And which means that I get to bring all of these up to a 6, which is fairly nice. Now, it's going to potentially take a couple of actions. Oh my gosh, have I messed up? Yeah. I needed 2 to go up there, and then I need 1, 2, and then do that. So yeah, having to do specific colors is kind of problematic for sure. I might have to give up on this urgent special ability just to make sure that I get things out of the hospital. This is sad times, but let's go. Or I could just forget about. I mean, if I give up on this and just do it next turn when it's at 5, then we're going to have no space in our hospital, so we can't do that. So yeah, I'm going to go up to 5, up to 6, and then release all 3 of them. 3 gets another 5 points, goes up to 14. These ones get neglected. Sad times. That was down to 3, down to 3, and down to 3. Okay. So that does mean that these yellow dice are all ready to take their first steps into the world as completely cured patients, and we are now on phase 5. Oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep. The other thing that's quite nice is because you're taking 1 thing every turn, you know exactly how many steps you're on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reroll the 6s. Reroll the 1s. Okay, so I guess I get to blood bank. Let me remind myself what a blood bag does. Blood bag, blood bag. What does the blood bag do? Let me. Here. It's worth 1 point at the end of the game, or you're allowed to change the color of a die, or you're allowed to heal a patient 1 step. Healing a patient 1 step, that sounds pretty powerful. I am happy with that. And I will... Oof. Let's go for... I need yellows, so let's skip the green, I guess. So let's go with that. And I get an upgrade. I was on 14. Okay, the virologist. When you heal a green, heal another green. Or cardiology, heal 3 reds. That's our in numerical order. So if you look at my numerical order, I've got 3, 3, 4, 4, and a 2. Yeah, that was a 4. Cardiology, I think, is actually more powerful than the other one where they need to be identical. That's giving me 2 extra, that's giving me 2 extra, but I don't have any greens, so I'm clearly going to go with the cardiology just now. And that can go to the bottom of the deck. Okay, so how are we going to do this? Let's start off with surgeon, going there, why not, and going 3, 4, and 5. Then triage nurse is going to heal maybe these 2 things. And what do I want to... one of them is going to go for the renal medicine to get these 3 out of hospital. Boom, you're out of hospital. Good riddance to you. And fare thee well. I've got 3 more actions left. And this is a nice ramp up to the game where you're like, okay, every turn I've got like one more thing to think about, Like you've got to balance these rooms and balance these people. It's a really nice system, I've got to admit. I do love how it was developed by and redesigned by Mike Nudd. And it was a nice original concept, to be fair, Stan. So we've done these, let's move them around. We've got all the 3s. Which one do I want to prioritize? Could I get another thing to come out of the hospital this turn? Could I get 2 more? No, I almost certainly couldn't. But yeah, I think at this point I just want to keep as many treated as I can so that nothing goes down too much. So let's the triage nurse will maybe move yellow and up to 3 and this up to 4 by treating, let's say, this 4 into a 5. There we go, that feels nice. And then I guess I'll do the green die somehow and one of the red dice somehow. Sadly, we had 1 bit of neglect. I mean, 1 bit of neglect isn't too bad. And 3 dice came out, so 5 points plus 4 points for this. So it gives me on 23. And now we are coming up to the end. Phase 6. Only 3 turns left. Oh my gosh, it's tense. Robert says, I only played Dice Hospital once at a convention with an expansion added, and they all had analysis paralysis. So it took 3 hours. I'd like to play the basic game again, as I think that the first play I had didn't give me an accurate idea of the game. Yeah, it's not a super complex thing. And oh my green dice, that is unlucky. Yeah, I think it's a solid game, and I would happily teach it to you if we were at a small convention like, say, KCON. I don't know, are you going to KCON or maybe Bastion next year? Let me know if you are. Oh, I almost forgot. These are all meant to move back. I mean, I think it's interesting because at a convention you want to show off the expansions, and you want to say, hey, here's stuff, and check out the expansions, and this is stuff for people who already know it, but then at the same time, people who might not know it come to the table. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay, so we've got if you've got to run off 3 green dice, immunology, that gives me 2 extra action, or microbiologists give me 2 extra actions. If I treat a green dice, I treat something else of an equal value. I feel like the microbiologist, even though the immunologist, I feel like the microbiologist is going to be more flexible going forwards, because I don't have that many green dice and I don't want to pick up that many green dice. I would have loved to pick up yellow dice, but didn't have them. I'm going to make sure to shake this up. And yeah, Robert, I 100% agree it should not be a 3-hour game. Did I give myself enough points? 14, yeah, 24 I should be on. No, 23, because it was 9. Okay. Look, I am not in the best situation. I'm just going to say that right now. These are not good times. I mean, I don't see a way to clear my hospital, which means that I'm going to have to send some people to the morgue. This is not good. This is the opposite of good. This is terrible. I feel, well, I mean, I could do this and treat that one, and then I could potentially, treat all of these and take them up to a 6, which then means that I'm more likely to be able to get some people out of the hospital. Oh, I was meant to take a new green nurse for the microbiologist. Okay, that gives me one more thing. Okay, interesting. So the microbiologist could actually... Wait a minute. Instead of having the white go there, let's say that the microbiologist went there, and then when that went up to a 6, then this one would also become a 6. That's good. Boom. Now, we've got a chance. Let's try and do 4, 5, 6. So I'll treat all of these. That goes out, and that goes up to a 5 and a 6. And I get to treat one other. So with the reds, I can treat one other red. So do I want to take another red out, which would be a good way to guarantee that at least I've gotten something out of there? Or do I want to... Why did I take the renal medicine? That was such a short-sighted move. This is the thing, like, these feel so alluring, but then these actually give you an extra person, so they're all kind of, yeah. The surgeon gives me one extra move. So do I want to take 2, 3, 4, 5? Let's heal the 4 up to a 5, I guess. And then let's get rid of a 6. And I guess another 6. And then, yeah, there was no way for me to get rid of this yellow, was there? That means that 3 of my dice are going to have to be neglected. Sad times. Sad times. Goes down. And these all come up. I get my 5 points for 5 points. Now this is a penultimate round. This is where I should be trying to turn the tide to try and get all my dice out of the hospital. Robert says, I'm doing Tabletop Scotland. Not sure about the other conventions yet, but KCON is being considered. Yeah, Tabletop Scotland, it's a bit far from me. I'm not going to take this game with me, and I'm going to focus on my own stuff because I'm there as an exhibitor. Is KCON in September? KCON is at the end of October. Hello, Joanne, sorry. It's lovely to see you. I am playing I'm playing Dice Hospital, which is a fairly complex strategic game about rolling dice and trying to treat them, and once they are above a 6, then you get them out of hospital. And hello, Timmy. It is always lovely to see you. You are, I guess it must be like 7 a.m. where you are. Without looking, come on, give me some yellow dice. If I don't get some yellow dice, there will have been no way for me to get those. So I'm not going to lie, I'm a bit annoyed. Okay, there's at least 2 yellow dice. And I basically have to take these. Oh, I forgot about the blood bank. Okay, I need to keep that blood bank there to remind myself. Okay, let's take these 3. What was a 5 yet? Did I give myself the 5 points last turn? I think I did, yeah. I've taken the dice. And apparently it's 6:15 a.m. where Joanne is. And it's just getting up. And 7 a.m. where Timmy is. And interesting people's different body clocks. Oh, hematologist, this could be good. If I heal a yellow thing, heal another yellow thing. Okay, that could be good. Or, radiologist, heal 3 things that are 1, 2, or 3 at once. I've only got 2 turns left. This turn and then next turn. So I only have to think about these 2 turns. I need to get rid of 3 things at least. Okay, so I need to improve this using 2 dice, using 2 people, and then someone else is going to go in here and do the +3 to send these out of the hospital. But I really need a yellow as well. So if I got, could it be the same yellow? That's what I'm wondering. Could hematologist be another yellow? Oh, when it's, this is slightly, oh my gosh. I've been playing surgeon wrong. It's meant to be one of the same people that you are healing. Okay, there's an asterisk over this whole game. But hematologist, okay, you do the same thing. It has to be the same thing. I am going to go with hematologist, I think. Because, seems most useful. And that means that I get a little yellow nurse. Boom. Fun. Let's put this here as a reminder. And Joanne says, I was playing a fun game, a visual novel called Cat's President. It has some political humor on it, which is particularly funny if you're from the USA or understand USA politics. I mean, I kind of have a vague understanding of USA politics, but it kind of makes me sad each time I think about it, is the truth. And thanks, Robert. Next time I play, I'll play properly. I'm not going to lie, I'm enjoying this. I might even give this another go after this game. So, how do I do this? I will treat a yellow. Goes 3 and then goes up to 4. Then maybe this one goes here and treats all of these yellows up to 5. the microbiologist. Oh, interesting. So if I was to send that in there, microbiologist could treat something else at the same time. How many points do I lose at the end of the game for dead people? Yeah, because this person, they're on their last legs, and this is the point where I need to think, yeah, what do I do? End of the game. Do I subtract 2 points for every fatality token, and yeah, you don't lose points for still in your hospital. So I could increase that by 1. I am thinking about trying to get a yellow and red out at the same time. Or do I just want to get these up onto 5 and try and do a big blitz next turn? Because having a big thing, it does go like not quite triangular, but you get 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, 2 points, and then once you get past 6, you get 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 5. I mean, just yep. And there is a double side, so Joanne says, for example, there is an orange cat with a wig in the Cat President. Pokes fun at rich politicians in particular. Yeah, I think would just make me sad rather than amused. Because, yeah, this is like maybe not the best thing that I do honestly sometimes just turn off from things and kind of find it just so overwhelming that I just can't deal with it sometimes. Wait a minute. I'm going to do surgeon. No. Triage nurse. Triage nurse will go... Nope. This will go to the freeze. Improve this to a 4. Triage nurse will do the... No, that doesn't work either. I need to get these to be... I mean, it's 1, 2, 3, and then 5, 5, 5. 5, 5, 5 isn't very useful. I need the reds to be in a run. And this is the interesting puzzle of the game, trying to get your dice to be in a run. And this is why actually Dice Hospital is quite a nice game to play solo. I'm thinking I need to get... Yeah, the 1 to be a 4. So if I were to do that, then it goes up to 3. Oh no. Let's undo that. I really, really, really need to get 3 of these people out. Okay. I'm going to do the... Why is this here? Yeah, this is where I actually forget. Like, I assumed that was there for a reason. Yeah, my short-term memory is completely short. So this one need to get something onto the 4. I need to get okay, that one goes up to 5 and 6. Something else takes all of these 6s out the game. Triage nurse is going to do the get something up to 6, I guess. And increase the 1 and the 2 to a 2 and 3. And then this red one is going to increase. Actually, if instead of doing the 1 and 2 to a 2 and 3, if I did this to a 4 and this one to a 2, no, this one to a 1, 2, yeah, this is, so I really want something, I want to get 3 in a row. I really need to get 3 in a row. But I also need to deal with this. So I'm going to take this up to a 4, and I'm going to take this up to a 2. It's not perfect, but it will do. And then these do the 4, 5, 6, and 4, 5, 6 becomes the 5, 6, and healed. And then I'm going to treat something else as well, and the 6 will get healed as well, and that will mean that I've got 5 dice, which is 9 points, which is 37. But sadly, I haven't done any of these things, which is genuinely a bit sad, but hey ho, that feels like an okay thing. Do we have more wee whimsical creatures to print out for the game now? No, I don't have more wee whimsical creatures at this point. I'll get, I can't, not sure what the last thing was, but I checked the latest update on the Kickstarter, and see how I've been drawing occasional thing for conventions, but I'll come back to it. Like, there will be more wee whimsical creatures, but it will probably be a few months. And then hopefully at the point that you're, I'm tired of all these creatures, then you'll get some more. Okay, let's see how we get some of these final dice. Definitely taking those 2. 5, 5. And let's take the 4 as well, and then work out what I am doing afterwards. Let's take the final update. That's terrible. That's good. Let's go with the radiologist, because 3 equal greens, that is terrible for my situation. I don't even have 3 greens, let alone 3 equal ones. So I get another yellow person, and I just... So, got so many nurses and doctors and surgeons and all sorts of people. This is the final round. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 things. Final round. How can we make this work? This one is terrible. Yeah. Well, yellow's pretty good. Let's start off with that. And let's move them all up to 6 and treat something of equal value. Let's move Actually, let's do it with this one, the hematologist, and then getting rid of, one, discharging one patient. With the other one, I'm going to use the radiologist to do a yellow and discharge this one as well. With the green, okay, I don't have anything worth a 4 yet, so that's not great. Can I take advantage of this run? I'd need to... Okay, let's think about this. Let's go... This brings this up to a 3. And then I'm going to move this to a 3 and this to a 4. And just because I've made this mistake before, I'm going to double check the triage nurse. Triage nurse. Heal 2 different patients. Okay, so they can't be the same thing. So, yeah, what was that a moment ago? That was a 3 and a 2, but then I also, I think it was like a 2-2. So let's move that back for a moment. Let's say that I mean, it's only about what I can actually get out. So if I were to potentially move this one up to 6, then I could bring these back both up to 3. Yeah, which means that I'm not going to overthink this. I'm sure that I'm not doing it the best possible way, but if I get one more thing just to get the run, if I say that I'm going to treat a 3, that takes it up to a 4. If I want to do the 4-5-3-4-5, or indeed a 4-5-6 would be even better, because then I actually get stuff out. 4-5-6 turns it into a 5-6 and discharged, and I get to improve one of those, so that one gets discharged as well. Okay. And the green one isn't actually doing anything great. So let's look at these. I double yellow and red. Yellow and red. I would really like a double yellow or a yellow and green, if possible. I don't think there's any way for me to get this green out. I would put it up to 5. I mean, I could, but that would take all 3 of my moves. So could I get 2 dice out? Could I get, yeah, none of, not, I guess I could do the, yeah, this is really not good. I'm out of spaces, I just realized. My gosh, I've done terribly. Sad times. Yeah. This is really not great, but I'll put this up here and put it up to 5. And unless, yeah, even if I put this here and now put these both up to 6, then it's kind of setting me up for a turn that I'll never have. So that is the end of the game, because this nurse is like, can't do anything, doesn't have the resources. Oh wait, I've got this blood bank. I completely forgot about my blood bank. I don't think it makes any difference which one I heal, but I can heal one more thing. Or I could have changed the colour of something. Yeah, if I'd remembered about this earlier, I probably could have done something more clever, but I'm going to take away one thing. And so this one goes down. I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gives me 11 points to 48. And 4 points goes to 52. And 2 points goes to 54. But then minus 4 points at the end of the game goes to 50. And I think that is my final score, 50 points. Let me double check. That's not forgetting anything. End game scoring, double the negative points for any fatality tokens in your morgue at the end of the game if you want. So yeah, potentially I could have subtracted double that, in which case I would have been 46 points if I'd done both the harder things. So I scored 50 points on easy mode or 46 points on hard mode. What end game scoring? Yep, that is my final score. 50 points on easy, 46 points on hard. Is that a good score? I don't know. I guess I'll mention it on the Facebook. I mean, I think there's a Dice Hospital Facebook group. So I'll see what other people say. I'm sure that I could do better next time. I'm actually going to have a quick look at the remaining cards. What are your thoughts on playing a new game solo before taking it to friends to teach, asks Robert. Yeah, I think that seems like a reasonable thing to do. I think that solo mode as a teaching game is quite nice, and I think that that's a good reason why it should be clear that like the solo mode should be, if you want a solo mode that's like able to do that, then your solo mode needs to be no more difficult than the real game. I mean, here you've got basically everything going on. The dice selection is very different in the normal game, but here it's actually simplified. This selection is different, but here again it's simplified. And this bit, like, did it need these? Yeah, it was something nice to aim for. I mean, it's also got me a bit annoyed that I wasn't bringing out as many yellow dice as I would have liked. Yeah, I guess, what did I actually score thanks to that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I scored basically 4, 8. Yeah, I scored 10 points because of it. So otherwise I would have scored 40 points. I mean, you could play without the medical reports. Do you mean on playing this specific game solo? Because I think it's very game dependent. If you were to play Dice Hospital solo just for the case of learning it, like in theory, if you had the patience, you could do it without the medical reports. But the medical reports, I don't know, it felt like it gave me something more to think about, but it did move it slightly further away from the basic game. I mean, the basic game is still very much intact, that you get so many more points by discharging more people at once. It's all about having runs or things that match these things, because when it's like, boom, do the green, do something of equal value, do that, do the same thing again, then you've got to kind of each turn solve the puzzle of not only how are you doing it this turn, but how are you doing it for next turn. And I do feel inspired to go for it again, because it is an interesting puzzle. And I do feel like I could have done better. The virologist, when you treat a green, do another green. When you treat a red, do an equal value. Treat a yellow, do an equal value, and presumably there's one of those for each of the colors. Yeah, green equal value, yellow equal value, and there's a couple of each of these things, I assume. Yeah, red, and is there another microbiologist? Yeah, there we go. So there's, if you treat a color, treat something of an equal value, and because these come up with a new little person, that's quite powerful. And even though these rooms look like they give you 2 actions, and this only gives you 1 extra action, but you also get the person, but then you need to balance them. You can't just take one or the other. And that's also an interesting thing about the game. And when you treat a color, you treat the same color again. You've got that for green and yellow and red. Yep, that makes sense. And when you treat yellow, treat one of those again. You've got that for yellow and red and green. Yellow and red and green. Okay, that's fairly simple. The paramedic seems really good. This would be almost my favorite card. When you treat something that's a 1, 2, or 3, 2 steps. So this is kind of giving you 3 more actions. Yeah, because you've got the new person, you treat something, and then you treat something 3 steps. Like, that's really good. General practitioner, treat something and then you treat 4, 5, or 6. This is, going to be just generally useful. Well, we already had the urologist. There's 3 of them. No, we didn't. Yeah, there's 2 of them. And then there's another triage nurse, there's another paramedic, and there's another GP. Yeah, I feel like the paramedic here is definitely my favorite. The paramedic feels like the one that's like, oh yeah, I'd be happy to get that. And this is a nice thing about, in the multiplayer game, then you're kind of choosing your drafting order by taking worse dice potentially, whereas in this game, you get to do this or that, so potentially it just never comes up, and it's not that much to do about it. Yeah, the crash sensor seems really good. This is also the one that's giving you 3 extra dice, but it's only a 1 or a 2, which triage sensor, it's like interesting because again, you don't want to let things get down that far. So actually, going one thing 3 times, so you have to be at 4 to maximize it. So it go 4 or less to maximize it. These ones feel like a really easy thing to maximize. I mean, this is just me looking at it, and there's definitely, I don't think that they could have been much more balanced than they are, because you run into, obviously from a developmental point of view, you run into the integer problem. So it's like, maybe this really should have been 2.1 and this one should have been, but you can't have that. You've got to have whole numbers. And so given that things are integers, you can't make things perfectly balanced. And also things are situational, and working out which is the better thing and which is the worst thing is part of the game. And so I think it is really, really well designed. The only thing that I kind of wish that they did was to say, oh yeah, this is a really good score, or this is a, and yeah, I think I make games according to my personal tastes. I say a better pass, good, excellent, brilliant. And then something else, like for couplets, a perfect couple or whatever. But yeah, I really like this. And Robert was asking about playing solo games. Yeah, again, it depends on the specific game. I would say that if you've got a copy of this game, it's not unreasonable to play it solo as your first game. That's how I would put it. It's like, yeah, I think that it takes you through the steps of the game. It teaches you the ways of thinking. And then when you're actually teaching it, you don't need to worry so much. Yeah, you're going to be slightly advantaged because you've played the game before, but you're also going to be not, you're going to be slightly disadvantaged because you're going to be keeping an eye on everyone else and making sure that they do everything correctly. So it kind of balances out. And so, yeah, if there was a game that I was really into and I would be hesitant to play it solo too much because I'd be like, yeah, then I might just get quite a bit better and then I can't enjoy it on an equal footing with other people so much. Robert says, for me it seems useful, but sometimes solo rules are quite different to multiplayer game. I think it's a good way to learn though. Yeah, that's fair. And yeah, honestly, if like something like KCON, there will be plenty of time. I do think that this is a game where, like, I'm happy to teach it. I'm assuming there will also be other people who are happy to teach it and play just the base game. I've not played the expansions yet, although I've got them, and I got them as, yeah, what? How should I put this? Oh yeah, part of my, by the way, bias towards this game, I did get this game for free because of my relationship with Alley Cat Games, and I also got Dice Theme Park, which I'm interested to now give a go to compare and yes, see how different it is. I might play that solo off camera first just to learn it, but yeah, Dice Hospital, I'm interested to play through the base game because it's something where I'd be interested in pitching a game in that dice blank range. For now, I'm going to finish up. It's been a slow, gentle Sunday, and I think that that is what you can expect. Either a Saturday or a Sunday, I'll probably in future be doing some solo show, unless maybe solo Saturday, unless I've got a guest. Maybe solo Sunday as well. Saturday and Sunday will either be a solo thing or me working. But for now, let me ask the question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. My question of the day was, when was the last time you went to a hospital? I don't know if this counts, but I went to a hospital type place late last year for my second vaccination. I need to get my third vaccination. So, yeah. But an actual hospital building and not a dentist and not just a pop-up, okay, go in. I think it would have been when I went to the... Yeah, it's been a few years, I think. It's been a few years for me. What about you? When was the last time you went to hospital? And of course, over to what you're up to, you can share a button if you want to. Is there anything you want to share? I promise that I care. Joanne, have a lovely day and enjoy your walk. Enjoy everything that's going on. Robert says far too recently, and all the health issues are happening now that I'm over 40. I'm sorry to hear that, and I hope that you're on the mend. To recap and wrap up, I played the game, I learned the game. I did make one mistake, which was with this card where it was Surgeon. When you heal a red thing, you've got to heal one of them again, as opposed to this other thing. I was playing it as if it was an anesthetist, so it wasn't a big cheat. I was just kind of misplaying it. And I assume that anesthetic says it has to be another one. Yeah, so sometimes it has to be the same, sometimes it has to be a different one. So you never get the choice of the same or different. It's just that specialist tells you how it has to be. And so I did make a mistake, but I scored 46 on difficult or 50 on easy. And there's not that big a difference in scoring. And so I'm kind of interested in that fact. But yeah, I enjoyed the game. I am going to play it again. Frankly, even if this were not something that I were interested in a professional basis, I would still be playing it at least again. So just because I really enjoyed it. And I would like to kind of, okay, what's the best I can do? And then after I've played it a second time, I'll probably be like, okay, well, let me just brute force what the best possible thing is and how could that arise, because now I'm curious in doing the puzzle bit. But yeah, I am up to possibly replaying this. Then I'm meeting someone at 3 o'clock. We're going to have a walk. Like today's my day off. I'm going to check in on Chris, make sure that Chris is okay while Chris does some graphic design for me. What else? Oh yeah, tonight 7. I might go to a club potentially. Robert says today I'm expecting a delivery of many little wooden hexagons. Wow, that sounds very fancy and exciting. Have a lovely time. If you want to check me out, I am, of course, Stuff by Beds everywhere. Check out my streams, stuffbybeds.com/streams. Thank you very much, everyone. And for now, the only thing left to say, as always, is lots of love and bye-bye, bye-bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye-bye, bye-bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye-bye, bye-bye. This is the end of the show. Bye-bye, bye-bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you for watching and have a lovely day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.